ball. And you could also use a tennis ball. So this will need a little bit later. So right now we'll do a bit of a warm up, and I'll talk about the injuries that we'll address today. And then at the end we'll need this to release some of the structures in the body. Okay. So we're going to start standing. And since we will talk about the knees, we'll start with some squats, and I'll also talk about correct form, so that even when you have knee problems, you can do some of these strengthening exercises as long as you know what to look out for. So we'll do regular squats, we'll do plie squats, which put less strain on the knees. And then I'll also show you a preparation to a pistol squat, which you shouldn't do when you have knee problems, but you should do when you have other issues that require you to strengthen your glutes. So regular squats, just to warm up the legs, is going to be about hip width apart. A lot of people turn their toes out. Don't do that. Keep them parallel. And then from here, you just sit back, stick your bum out, and then push your hips forward when you come back up. So we'll do 20 of those, not super fast. Up, up, up. You put more weight in the heel. And you really stick your, I won't say the word out. Let's do 3 more. Full hip extension. Last one. Okay. For the plie squat, I'll face you. So you have your feet turned out, wider than hip width. And when you're coming down, you make sure your knees still track out to the side. So don't let them collapse in. So you're coming down and up and down and up. And we're doing 20. Yeah, so some of the injuries that especially runners see are around the Achilles and the calf. And that's often caused by shoes, by increasing your mileage too early. And I see Achilles things predominantly in men, more so than in women. And I'm not sure if that's because they load differently, but some of the exercises we'll do today are really to strengthen the glutes, to take some of that strain off the lower leg. I think women present more with shin splints, which is often caused by the same thing. The calf muscles aren't working properly, or they're overladen. And so when you land, women tend to feel it more here, and men sometimes tend to feel it in the Achilles. This is like a vast exaggeration, but it's what I've seen. Let's do 2 more here. Okay, and then I'll show you on a chair what a pistol squat would look like. So you can attempt this on something that is slightly higher. And the goal is to briefly sit down while extending the opposite leg out, and then decreasing the contact time. So come down and back up, and down and back up, and down and back up. And initially, you might not be able to do any. If they're super hard and you don't want to do them, there's like so many other ways to work on your glutes. But If you feel that it actually comes quite naturally to you, it's a really effective way to do it. So I'll work the other leg for just 3. Sitting back, coming back up, down, and up, and down, and up. Okay, so this is a more advanced move, but these are the 3 types of squats that you would do that are more static. And now we'll add into that a more dynamic move. So jump squats, you sit back, and from here, when you drive up, you take off. And so that taking off shouldn't be lazy, it shouldn't just be a hop, but it should be super explosive. So again, I would rather you do 5 of them than 10. But the ultimate goal is to get to 3 sets of 10 and do them where nothing jiggles when you take off. That's down and up. Squeeze. Squeeze through the glutes, through the hamstrings, and land softly. So we'll do 1 round of 10. Down and up, down and up, down and up. Okay, good. All right, so now we'll start moving laterally. So since we're still focusing on the legs and some of the exercises that can help with getting around injuries, this is another series of exercises that can help you with glute activation. So you'll put your right leg in front. You're in a long lunge. And from here, you come down and you twist. And do that 15 times. Five more. And last one. And then switch legs. So left leg in front. Always make sure your knee stays behind your big toe. So if you feel there's a twinge in the knee, just don't go as low. Focus more on the twisting. So we'll do 15. Down and up and down and up. Five more. Okay. All right, so we've warmed up the legs pretty well. We'll add more lateral movement. So we're still working on the issue of like overuse in the lower leg, overuse in the hamstring, especially upper hamstring tendonitis, and trying to activate the glutes to work against that. So this next exercise looks like a side lunge, but it's a little more complicated. So you'll step out, keep your feet parallel, bend this knee, but then instead of stepping back, you pull the straight leg in and you balance. Step out with me, step down, pull the straight leg in, hip extension, and hold. And step. Down, up. We're doing 10. And step up. Sink down, up. Hold. And step up. It's hard to do a video about glute activation, not actually using the word much, just a term. And step down, pull this leg in, challenge your balance, and step up. I'm doing 4 more. Down and up. Step up. Down and up. You can lift your arms. Step up. 2 more. Down and up. Step up. And last one. Down and up. And take a break. We'll stay on this side, but now we'll add a hop. So, stepping, pulling, hop, land, and hold. It looks easy, but you'll see my other leg. So, step, come low, pull this straight leg in, up, and hold. And 3 more. Step, up, hold. 2 more. Step, up, hold. Last one. Step, up, hold. Okay, and then the other side. So left leg steps, right leg stays straight, gets pulled in, and extend. So this is my weaker leg. Step up with both feet. Sink, pull in, hold. So these exercises are injury prevention. Whether you're already injured and you're trying to make it better while keeping running, or if you're not yet injured, but you know you have a weakness, then this is a good thing to do once a week to prevent it. We're doing 5 more. You step, sink, pull this leg in, extend your hip. Down, up, down, up. 2 more. Down, up. And last one. Down and up. Good, and now we'll add the hop. So you'll step, pull the straight leg in, hop, hold. Step up with both feet, sink down, up, and hold. 3 more. Down, up and hold. Last 2. Down, up and hold. And last one. Down, up and hold. Okay. So we'll do more rolling out, stretching out at the end, but again, we are addressing lower leg issues, often shin splints, Achilles problems, tightness in the knee, or that sharp pain, especially on the inside, which is often patellofemoral syndrome. And so for most of these issues, and I'm only an exercise physiologist, not a doctor, strengthening the glutes will help with moving the load of hiking, running, sometimes cycling, away from your knees and your lower joints, up into the glutes, which is the strongest muscle in our body. So ankles, knees, for me, upper hamstring tendonitis. So we strengthen the glutes through squats, through lunges, forward and sideways. And now we'll actually add some movement because we're also here to work out. So we'll start with some jumping jacks. If you have acute knee problems and that hurts, do speed skaters. So we'll do 3 minutes of movement. Jumping jacks, speed skaters. Just move with me and go. And ideally your glutes are warmed up. So you shouldn't feel this too much in other parts of the body. And we're just getting your heart rate up on a Friday night, on a Saturday morning. Never a bad idea before a run either. Too many of us just put on our shoes and go. So Adding some movement before means your cardiovascular system is ready. And that first mile doesn't feel as hard. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. That first kilometer or mile is usually much slower and just feels a little off. But these exercises can help with that. The other thing for people with patellofemoral syndrome who are new to running, there's absolutely no shame in wearing a knee strap around your knee until your body adjusts to more strength, because sometimes knee issues can also stem from weak muscles in the legs. We're halfway there, another 90 seconds. You can always do speed skaters and just move. And then after this, we'll move up to the upper part of your body. 1 more minute. We're also using this to warm up the arms and shoulders. And I think the things we see the most in the upper body is neck pain, neck and traps. So pulling the shoulders up, hunching, carrying handbags. Sometimes it's problems with the shoulder joint that travels up. And then the other thing we also see quite often is subscapular pain, so under your shoulder blade. And that's really unpleasant because it's very hard to reach. And other than getting a very good massage, you need some tricks, which I'll show you in a moment. But for all of those, it's usually a question of range of motion. Okay, 3 minutes, that was good. So we'll move up to the upper body. I hope your legs feel fine, and feel free to write me both on YouTube and on Instagram. You can either send me a DM or you can write me in the live comments if there's anything that's hurting right now that you need help with. In the meantime, I'll show you this next exercise, kneeling, because when you do these kneeling instead of standing, there's also engagement of the core. And knowing that most of us are in this position quite a bit, you know, we're on our phones, we're on our computers. Initially, we'll just work on the range of motion, opening up the shoulders and the neck. So one of my favorite exercises for this is knees a bit wider than hip width, and then just leaning and reaching, and just keep going back and forth. And we'll do that for a minute. This should be gentle. We're using the arms, but we're not working them. But you feel a little bit of release in the neck, hopefully. You take your head with you. It's leaning to the opposite side of the hip. And if this is hard on your knees, place a blanket under your knees. So with back pain, it's easy to just want to lie down because movement hurts. But more often than not, lying down will actually make it worse because eventually you have to get up again. And that hurts. Light movement helps, and then for everyone who joined later, we'll be using a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, dog, fetch ball, whatever you can find in your household towards the end, and I'll show you how to release some of these structures in your body. Okay. And then from here, we'll test your shoulder range of motion. So one arm at a time comes forward almost in a freestyle swimming motion, and you're rotating across your body. Just 30 seconds. Forward, forward, like you're trying to reach for something in front of you. We have 10 more seconds. You can let your head go. Again, we're trying to add some movement to your neck, to your upper back. And then we'll reverse that. A lot of people find that harder. And just 5 more seconds, reverse. Okay, shake out your arms. And then we'll create this diamond shape. So elbows come in, elbows shoot up. So this is with more intent. So you're coming in, and when you come in, you press your shoulder blades together. So shoulder blades come in and engage, and then goes pow. And we'll do that for 30 seconds. You're coming in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. And we have 5 more seconds here. Okay. And then keep moving. So arms rotate forward. Now your palms are facing down. Straight arms. 30 seconds. And then reverse. So it's looking like a nice day here. I heard that some parts of Germany have had really cold weather again. Here I think it's going up to 75, 26 Celsius. We have 5 more seconds, reverse. Okay, and for a second, sit back, because being on the knees works your lower legs. And before we open up top a little more, we will relax our calves by placing the right shin over the left Achilles, and then sitting back. And you find that spot that is tight, and you massage it by moving your body forward and back, a little to the side. Even if I don't have any injuries right now in that area, this is a pretty intense release. So you have to see how much weight you need in your arms and how much you can just unleash onto your Achilles attachment. And you can move that shin up a little more and into the meatier part of the calf muscle. Okay, and then switch to the other side. So the left shin is resting just above the right Achilles. So there's a connecting tendon attachment to the soleus muscle. And so that's part of your calf. And usually that's pretty tight. It's tight for people who run, people who cycle, and women who wear high heels. And then move your shin up a little, get into the meatier bit of the calf. So for this, you don't even need a foam roller. So you can just use your own body weight to release the muscle. Okay. And then we'll come back up onto the knees. And we'll move the arms from one side over to the other. I know this looks weird, but it's like you're pulling and then coming over to the other side, and then pulling and coming over to the other side, pulling, just a few times on each side, just moving both arms over. You'll get a stretch across here, and then keeping them at shoulder level, and pull across, and pull across, and pull across, and pull across. And let's just do 2 more, and 1 more. And then hands on top of one another at just above chest level. Twist, 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 twist. So I can hear my upper back crunching a bit. You may hear that too. We'll do 30 seconds. Switch the other arm on top. And just a few more seconds. And then we'll come back up to standing. Okay, so support yourself. Come up to standing. Feet are about hip width. And we're going to hinge from the hip with your arms above your head. And you're leaning forward with a straight back. And then when you get to 90 degrees, you bend, you let everything hang, and then you slowly roll up to standing. Then you place your hands up over your head. Hinge from the hip, straight back, hold for a second, and then bend your knees, bend everything, relax, roll up to standing. Extend your arms up, hinge forward, straight legs, straight back, bend your knees, release, roll up, arms up, hinge forward, and release. We'll do 5 more, arms up, hinge from the hip, there should be no pain anywhere, bend and release, arms up, hinging, and release, arms up, hinge, and release, and 2 more, arms up, hinge forward, bend and release, last one, hinge forward, straight back, and release. Stay down here for a moment, just sway left and right. Okay, and now we'll work on releasing some of these structures. So grab this ball. If you don't have a ball, but you have a dumbbell, you can use one of the ends of the weight, which has like a round but flatter shape. And you'll come to lie on your back on your mat with your feet on the floor and your knees bent. So you have this little lacrosse ball, tennis ball. You place it right in the center of your glutes. Then you lie down, you're on your back already. And you'll know right away if you found the right spot. So one knee just stays straight. The other knee falls out onto that ball and comes back up. We're not trying to force anything. You'll probably feel a pretty intense, almost like it's a guitar strum, like a sensation that that ball is landing against this pretty strong fascia. And we're trying to allow the body to release that without forcing it to do that, because it can happen that if you force these things, the body just clenches, and then that area just remains really tense. And then we'll move this, the cross ball that we have, over to the other side. So you're placing it under the biggest part of your glute, but now on the other leg. Your knees are bent, feet are flat on the ground, and then from here, one knee just falls out to the side and comes back up. And you want to do about 15 of them. And so releasing the piriformis, which we're doing right now, means that you can relieve sciatic pain. You can relieve that deep pain in the buttocks, which is, that's the technical term, which presents with, it can present with lower back pain, can sometimes even be related to groin issues, or I think sometimes for me that also feeds into my problems with my upper hamstring. Okay. And then we're moving this up to our scapula. So this is one of the areas you want to relieve, which is right around the glutes. If you are confident, you could try it on your lower back, but I often find it's more effective to open up the glutes for the lower back than trying to find the right spot in your lower back. So then the next spot we would find for this is under your shoulder blade. So scapula, you can feel it. And there's a point on the inside. And when you press it, you'll know. Again, it's like that tight guitar string that you can feel when you go across it from top to bottom. And that's where we'll put the tennis ball, the cross ball, whatever you have, even like a dumbbell weight. And you may need to shimmy a bit. And then from here, you try and relax a little bit. If it's too much, you can roll a bit off to the other side. And you could even go in by moving your lower legs towards the side of the scapula and away from it. So your back is lifted, you go back in, you go back out. And again, you want to do that about 15 times. And so what that will do, it can relieve back pain, upper back pain, especially if you have a tendency to carry a child on one side, like I do, or a handbag on one side. And sometimes this has referred pain into the neck, so it can help with that too. Okay, and then you remove that. And I'm sure you'll find other spots that are super grateful for this little massage tool, and we'll put it under the other scapula. So find that spot. If you don't want to rock your whole body across and back, you can also play with the arm. So bring the arm towards the opposite shoulder and then open it up and see what that does. So for me, this side is really tight. Move the arm across. It's all gentle, we're not forcing. And across. So on this side, this actually serves me better. Yeah, we're doing 15. And for me, I can actually feel this side up into the neck, into my traps. And I'm looking forward to doing the next 2 stretches and then really feeling like my shoulders have dropped 10 centimeters or 4 inches. Let's do a few more. And let's do 2 more. And last one, open up. And then remove that lacrosse ball from under your scapula. So right here. And then come to sit. And see if that feels better already. So especially for the upper back, if you carry children, carry things, carry bags, if you're like me, that if you do a shop, there's no way you're turning around to pick up the remaining bags and you just grab it all at the same time. This is where we end up with the shoulders who come up to our ears. So this should hopefully have helped a little bit. The other thing that you can release when your neck is tight is finding a spot. There's your lat, which is what you use for swimming, this part. And if you feel comfortable enough, stick your thumb in there and then move your arm up and down. You'll feel there is a sore spot that will shoot up into your neck as well. So you're finding a spot just by the lower part of your lat, so your shoulder, your back muscle, your biggest back muscle. Press in there and then move your arm up and down. Just a few. And then try that on the other side. So finding this tight spot, pressing in here. I know it looks weird. It's like you're pressing into your armpit, but there's nothing wrong with it. And you'll find that it actually relieves pain. That comes all the way around into your neck and sometimes even into your pecs. So up here, the start of your upper body. So press in here and just move your arm up and down a bit. I just saw Sandra's comment. I got your message. I'll respond. We'll just do 3 more. Okay, and then from here it's all just relaxing. So with your left hand, hold on to your head lightly and just gently pull across. So we're adding more length in your neck. And the right hand firmly plants into the ground. So they're opposite forces. One hand drives down, the other hand drives slightly across. And then switch. And then the last one is really just interlacing your fingers, gently putting them across the back of your head, and then allowing your whole spine to round. So like a cat, pull your chin in towards your chest, and then relax, like really slouch. Allow yourself to slouch, and just relax down, push your lower back out, upper back out. Yeah, and that's that. So it's already Saturday here. I hope everyone in the US is okay. It's very, very sad to read some of the news articles, and I'm thinking of everyone there. I hope you have a good Friday night, and I hope that this helped you to release a little bit. And if you have questions about injuries that you want me to discuss, I can always do a 30-minute segment on them. So just let me know in the comments here or in direct messages. And I wish everyone a good weekend, and I'll be back on Monday, 5 p.m. EST, and which is Tuesday morning Sydney time at 8 a.m. So, and now we're almost done to where I get to go outside and run, and maybe I can even record 1 or 2 of these outside if that's still allowed. Wishing you all a good weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.